Good morning, good afternoon. Oh, this is better. I still look tired. That's okay. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Sincerely Yours, Valisa, where we talk about everything. Life, nursing, because I am a nurse, parenthood, trips may be thrown in there, but right now I'm on a work real hard journey. I want to be able to buy a house in 3 years, but I want to get these student loans, and I think that is crazy. Nurses, we go to school, we pay all this money, and once you get to a certain level, like bachelor's, but for sure grad school, you get no assistance, all but loans. So I'm trying to sit here and pay back my loans. I'm really over the shit because our government don't have no problem sending money overseas to help those, but don't want to help those here. Our country have no problem with, like, honestly, I feel like if you actually worked, nurses worked in and through COVID and can prove it, that they should be, like, their student loans should just be forgiven immediately. But until that happens, I'm just gonna be working hard here on YouTube trying to get my stuff up. But anyway, yeah, so I'm traveling. I'm in my new destination of Davenport, Iowa. I have been to Des Moines. It wasn't, it just gets cold. Here right now it's cold. It's at, I don't know what, 38 degrees, and it's kind of windy outside. So normally the contract that I have is a 48 hours. I always prefer to do 48 hours because my built-in overtime is in there, and I have myself a minimum. You can't call me with rates that I can make, because I've been a nurse for 25 years at home at a hospital. So sorry y'all. So that is stupid, but it is what it is. So when I'm working and doing my contracts, I do pick up at other places, because right now I'm on a grind session, and I have a 3-year goal, and honestly I'm tired of working for other people. Healthcare is not what it used to be. It is sad, but I'm gonna do my part to try to make it somebody's day, but it's sad. So I got 10 minutes before I have to go in there, and I'm not going in there earlier because you cannot clock in earlier than the time you're allotted to come in. So this is an 8-hour shift for me, so I do pick up at nursing homes. So hopefully this is not, for one, it's a 1 floor, so I can get with that. Versus when I was in, I have never seen hospitals that had 3, 4, and 5 floors, and that can hold up to 500 and 600 people. In a hospital, yes. In a nursing home, absolutely not. And the nurse to patient ratio was absurd in Pennsylvania. It was absurd. But I can tell y'all some stories on that, and I will do that later. But again, my station will be about a lot of things, and then hopefully, in the future, I can create a safe space for entrepreneurs that are starting, and there are people that may have been in their business, and they can give new entrepreneurs some pointers, and I mean the entrepreneurs that really want to work, not just don't want to do anything, because it takes a lot to start a new business. That part I do know, especially with marketing. And you have to plan and plan accordingly. So that's what kind of space I hope to eventually incorporate. But in that space, I want to be able to talk, with other nurses, and let's talk about their experiences, because of course every state has different rules for nurses, what they can and cannot do. But standard of care is the same across the board, no matter what. No matter what somebody say, the standard of care is the same across the board. And I'm a stickler for rules, and I'm a stickler and an advocate for patient care. I don't want to have that on my conscience that I didn't do everything I could when it comes to patient care. And I see a lot of people that don't care. But for me, ain't no need to talk about it. I'm gonna do my part, and hopefully those other nurses will, nurses that are in the game right now because and they really don't care, because COVID I feel like during COVID we cared more than once COVID was over. Nurses were just more like I'm going wherever the money is. I'm trying to continue to make that COVID money, which this is not going to happen. That money is gone unless another epidemic comes about. But I am going to get ready to walk in this building. I have 8 minutes. I have to go to get my code to get into their point of care. And then when I come out, let's just kind of wrap up and talk about how my shift went. And then what's to come is 2024. I'm trying to be healthy. I don't want any ailments that has come up to me that is brought on because of me. And then we'll all talk about that too. So hopefully, when because I will be starting my eating healthy. I want to say weight loss because I'm a thick girl and I love it. I want to say just eating better, toning up, increasing my metabolism, and just being more so healthy. But again, I'm going to check back in with y'all because I'm going to go in this building. All right. Wish me luck. Hey guys, welcome back. And I was supposed to check back in when I went to work, but I was tired, and honestly, just trying to get this YouTube thing going and being consistent is kind of hard, especially for me, because not only we all work, but I not only do I work in a hospital, I sometimes pick up through what is it called? What the hell is it called? When I remember, I'll let you know. But I also pick up through this one app, and they have a whole lot of apps out there that's the same, where you go to work and you get paid, right after you leave. So I'm just in grind mode. I'm in grind mode trying to get this YouTube thing started. I'm in grind mode because, and where's my manners? Happy New Year, people. Happy New Year. It is January 1st. It is my birthday. Yay! And I thought of a new way to determine my age. If y'all want to go ahead and borrow this calculation, I'm more than welcome, you can use it. So what I did was basically took my age divided by 2 And that's what my real age is. So technically, even though I may be 52, I feel like, well, I'm not going to say I feel like I'm 26, but that's what I'm telling you about him. Wait, yeah, I'm 26. I'm 26. That's what I'm telling people. So, yeah. I mean, it's not the fact that I don't want to, gracefully get older. I'm blessed to see another year. You guys are blessed to see another year. I just choose to just like do things differently this year. And well, actually, when I was 51 last year, I started, doing a lot of thinking. When you're young, and it depends on how you were brought up, you don't think about leaving, what's the word? Becoming successful in whatever it is that you develop, you create generational wealth, right? For me, in my generation, in my family, education was pushed for us. So as far as like going to school and getting degrees, pretty much the majority of the women. Can't talk about the men. I don't know what to say about that's a whole nother topic. The majority of the men, women in the family, we have degrees and so forth. And now, I'm just like at a 3-year goal. I thought of what my resolutions were going to be before New Year's came. I have my 3-year goal, and I'm going to make that 3-year goal. And I will build, I will have some sort of generational wealth to pass down to, well, I'm not going to pass to my kids, okay? Because they got all they need from me while I was here on earth. It'll be for my grandkids. So, that is what my plan is. This year, I'll tell you a few of my New Year's resolution goals. And that is to become more spiritual and in alignment with God and His teaching. I'm working on not easily agitated or angered by a certain population when I feel like I'm being looked down on. So I'm kind of learning to not give that energy. I'm working on that for this year. I plan on paying off a couple of things in the year. Working on my credit. And going back to school at the end of the year. I know my family gonna be like, oh, good God. But I just, with nursing, you have so many options and so forth. I wish when I was, well, no, I couldn't do it anyway. I wish I could have become a nurse anesthetist, but I know I couldn't do that because I had my children, and I know that program is very rigorous, and from my understanding, they make you sign contracts that you won't work, and I get all of that, but I had kids, so I couldn't do that. I mean, even in my nursing career, I did the long way. I went from CNA to LVN to my associates, to bachelor's, and bachelor's to master's. And, for me, it worked that way because, as I said, I had kids. So I still was able to work full-time and take care of my kids and go to school full-time. But then again, I was younger and I had more energy. So I took the long route. But to me, also taking a long route and working in at different levels, it gave me especially when I started off as a CNA, it gave me a whole different respect when I became an LV, not of respect. When I became an LVN, I knew how it felt to be a CNA. And so, I would just do what I could to help out, because sometimes, they have, oh my God, so many patients that, you can't allow your patients to sit in urine or poop, or you can't, they thirsty, nurses walking out the room looking for the CNA or the tech to get them water. That is like my pet peeve. I'm not going to say hate, because hate is a strong word, and I don't hate anybody. I no. Even my worst enemy, I don't hate, because, I just don't have that in my heart to that extent. But it is my pet peeve when I see nurses walk out the room and go find the nurse aide to take the patient a water when they were just in the room. It's pure freaking lazy. That's what that is. So, like I said, yeah. So that was a couple of my New Year's resolution. And, it's like, I'm a knock on wood, because as far as I'm aware, I know I don't have any health issues, and I don't want any health issues. And so I plan on, no, I'm not going to plan. I will be getting more back into shape. And probably I want to lose like maybe 15 pounds and just kind of tone up. But I'll be able to do that, because tomorrow, Destiny, Daddy, you see over there, right there, right there you go. Her stroller comes in, so we'll get to go. I like to run and see the scenery. And so that's what we'll do once her stroller comes in tomorrow. And some of you people are like, what you talking about, a stroller? I treat my baby, my baby, as a baby. She's a Pomeranian. She can't run that far. But she loves to go sightseeing when we're out. Oh, shit. when we're out, when I'm out doing exercise, and if they have a track, of course, I'll let her out for that, to run the track. She probably run like one time around, but I swear when she gets back, you swear she did the running. She be snoring like nobody's business. That is so funny to me. But that's my baby, and I'll go to war for her, and I'm sticking beside her. I'm sticking beside her. But like I said, I didn't do anything for New Year's Eve. I went to bed early. I was tired. I'm still kind of tired. I go to work tomorrow night, but I got a couple of things, a couple of phone calls and so forth I got to do in the morning. Me and my cousin are working on a business, and so hopefully you guys support that once that goes live. I would definitely appreciate that so much from you guys. I just have a whole lot of things I have for my channel. I want y'all to go through the journey with me, with my business, becoming more fit, and I would definitely be showing y'all some of those, what I do to get fit. And this how I'm staying fit, because it's for the birds. For me. Everybody has their own opinion, but for me. And then, study and take my nurse prac test. My dream job, honestly, is to work at the VA, for numerous reasons. Of course, they got good benefits, and I could work in a clinic, and it'll be Monday through Friday, and I can probably get them to pay some of these student loans back. I'm like, ugh. You go to school to make a better living, but then you're paying, when I went to grad school, whatever. Now I'm paying my loans. And then, of course, that stank-ass Uncle Sam. I just don't understand why. I feel like if nurses worked, and they can show they worked in hospitals during COVID, and if they had student loans, our student loans should be forgiven completely. That's what I think, especially since we got all of a sudden money to go send overseas, but you're not taking care of your people here, and you are down my throat to pay some damn taxes. I don't know goddamn taxes. I have, this is a funny thing. So, technically, you have like 3 years. I work at the IRS. 3 years from the point of your W-2, of your tax year, to file. So, the IRS called themselves, how you gonna file my taxes for me? I have expenses. I travel. So those are all deductible. So I thought that's just so funny to me. You want to bug me? And probably all. And I'm just over it. I don't care if I wouldn't get any money back, but god dang, can I zero out? Can that happen? is bad enough. I mean, I be feeling a certain way when people get these large amounts back, and it's coming out of people, coming out the pockets of people that make X amount of money, and that's, it's the government. The government's crazy. But yeah, other than that, like I said, I picked up, went to work at 62. It was it was horrible. And I've worked in some crazy spots and covered my license. But this particular place, I called the agency and I said, I want to DNR myself. I'm not coming back here, because I just felt like I wasn't set up for success as far as they having me, my code working when I got there, so I could maybe get in the computer. That didn't have that. The code they gave me didn't work, and then I text whoever it was or the message to whoever was on call. They didn't call me back, and it was just a shit show from there, because it put me behind. I got to work at 6. I didn't finish med pass till about 2:30. No lunch break. 2:30. That's I was not happy at all. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming back here, because I kind of, I want my damn license. Shit. And people just be playing on people's license, and in their face. Don't play with me and my license. That's when I will get out of character, and that's for real. I don't care. If y'all, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and I'll tell y'all this story. I don't know if I said it already. Did I say it? Did I tell y'all this story already? I don't know. But I'm going to tell it. So, and I graduated in December 2019. Okay, so January 2020, I worked. I think I told y'all this story. I'm going to tell it just in case I didn't. So in 2020, I was working at a hospital in Austin, because I'm from Texas. And I normally work on one particular floor, but they had floated me to this other floor. Now, this other floor, though, it's like, I want to say, like cookie cutter, as far as like the rooms had no rhyme or reason to how they were. It was stupid. They had no rhyme or reason to how they were. So they had another nurse that was there. That nurse was never answering her lights. So when I go to work, I like to sit by my patients, because if they need something, I get up and go. But back there also, this other nurse had patients, and she was like literally not answering her lights. So I just got to the point where I went to the charge nurse. I was like, hey, no. The nurse came up to me and told me I needed to sit back there, so I can, because she was gonna sit in the front or something like that. So I went to the charge nurse. I'm like, so XYZ said, I need to sit back there and some lights, and including hers. So I'm like, and I don't mind answering lights, but I'm not going to answer all her goddamn lights, because I got my own work and my own patients to do, right? So when that happened, the charge nurse had told me, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to her because I've been answering her lights too, and the lady just was not answering her lights. So when the charge nurse talked to her, she was pissed. She was like throwing like pushing chairs hard, and it was just stupid. I'm just looking at her like, and she was a older lady. I'm just like, oh my God. But she had gotten a patient in, and she thought, oh, sorry, she could talk to that patient any kind of way. And so that patient was like, said he was going to report her. She changed her story, this, that, and the third. Now, the rooms are made weird, so I can't, like, when you're in the hospital, you got your rooms to the left, you got your rooms to the right, like, and so it may be evens or odds on the other side, or you go, it'll be evens on one side and odds on the other side, or sometimes it'll be like just in a row, like one all on one side, and then the higher numbers on the left. But the way this floor was made, it was just like, it was weird. Like the rooms just had no, it didn't make sense. So you had to really pay attention, because the next room you go into, so it can be like I said, like, I'm sorry, it could be like I'm going into room 18, but then the next room would be like 30 something. So it was like weird like that. So anyway, my patient had called, and I was going into her room, and I accidentally walked to that particular nurse's room, but I noticed it wasn't my patient, so I walked out. So the patient had told her that I had walked in her room, and so the nurse asked me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I walked in the room. I said, I noticed that wasn't the right room, so I walked out. So what's the problem? And she was like, well, the patient had told me. Okay, well, no harm, no foul. So, so at this place they use iPhones. So they will put a message in the phone so you can kind of save some steps. So I went into the patient's, I had called into the patient's room, and he told me that he had pain. And I was like, okay. I looked into his chart and see what he had last. And so I was going in the room to give him that. But before that, I needed to waste, because he wasn't getting like the whole vial of the medication. So I wasted with another nurse. Now, this particular freaking hospital or corporation, they have like a lot of safety measures in place. So when I say that, I mean like if a nurse pull out a medication and they haven't given to the patient in so long, there's like a pharmacy person that's sitting downstairs watching that. They will call up to the nurse and ask, hey, what's going on? Why this patient haven't gotten their meds? Or that pain medication, basically. But anyway, I had wasted the med. So I go in the patient's room, and I was like, hey, I got your medicine and so forth. And he tells me that he decided to wait. So I was like, okay, no problem. Night went by fast, boom, boom, boom. Next day, I'm getting a phone call from like the director of nursing. And she was saying that, she asked me why I wasted the whole vial of the narcotic. I said, because the patient decided he didn't want it. And she was like, well, didn't you assess him? I said, yeah. He called on the phone, and I talked to him, and he said he had pain. I said, so technically, did I walk in there right then and there? No, I'm saving steps. That's why you have these phones, so that we can communicate and save steps. So I I said, so I went in there. He decided he didn't want it. I wasted the rest of the vial. So then she was just like, you know what? I know you must. And she said, well, what about this incident that you walked in another nurse's patient's room? And I was like, okay, I did. It was an accident. Okay, what are you trying to say? So then she just started like going off saying, I know you're diverting. I'm like, really? I'm diverting because I wasted a whole vial of medication. I said, if you think I didn't waste the whole vial, I said, you have cameras right above the Omnicell, right? The Pyxis. She said, yeah. I said, well, then pull the cameras. I said, I ain't no diverting here. And if you think I'm diverting, then do you want me to come take a drug test? Because I can do that too. And she just was on this thing of, you're diverting. I know what it looks like. Bitch, I ain't never met you a day in my life. I ain't never seen you. I hardly ever go on your floor. So what the hell are you talking about? I was like, was my speech slurred at night? Did anybody complain about my speech being slurred? Did anybody complain about me being sleepy? Did anybody complain about me looking like I may have been high or my pupils are dilated or any of that stuff? She was like, no. I said, so I don't understand where you're coming from with this. And so then she was like, I'm trying to see what happened. And then she said, well, I'll call you back. So the thing is this. When you accuse somebody of diverting, your job as a director or whatever position you're in is to call the pharmacy and get them to print out a whole list of all the narcotics that I had passed and, go by that. So she didn't do that on my phone calls. She waited a couple of days. She called me back. She said, oh, we looked in your chart. And we looked at the thing. We found that now we're talking about January now. In October, you didn't give a tramadol, or you didn't chart a tramadol, somewhere around that. I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. She said, then on this date, you didn't give this. And I'm like, I said, you know what, woman, you're a lie. I said, because the way your system works, I said, now, I've been with y'all on and off for years. I know how your system works. And I said, if I didn't give a medication, it would have still showed up in the machine in the Pyxis. If I didn't give or waste a medication, it would have showed in the Pyxis. And then at that point, no one should have left that day. I said, so, and you're talking about something like 3 or 4 months later. I said, I don't believe you. I said, I want to look in the patient's chart. She told me that I couldn't. I said, I had every right to look in the patient's chart. Why are you sitting up here trying to accuse me of something? She was like, no, you cannot. I was like, yes, I can. And she was like, well, let me get with HR and I'll get back with you. So she called, I don't know, whatever. She called me like the next day, and she was like, well, but when she called me like about 120 or 220. Now, I live way on the other side of town in Austin, and the time she's calling me, and at that moment she was like, oh, you can come up here and look at the chart. And I'm like, are you going to stay there while I go and dig through the chart? Because by the time I get there, I know medical records will be closing. So are you going to stay there? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, if you don't, so you're not allowing me to look at a chart thoroughly. And she was like, no. I said, because I'm telling you right now, when I live, they were way north. I live way south. I said, it's going to take me 45 minutes. You calling in this high traffic. And I need to make sure that I'm still going to be, when I get there, I'm not going to be rushed when I'm going through these charts, right? So she's like, well, they close at 5. I was like, well, you calling me and she didn't even call me. She sent me a email. The fuck I'm looking at my goddamn email for? And then I don't know, and then I end up just like going through my mail and I saw it, then I called her back. I mean, I felt like at that point she was setting me up for failure. So I was like, well, can we not do this in the morning? I can get there at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning so that I can go through the chart. And she was like, well, are you refusing? I said, I'm not refusing not to come, because when I come, I'm not going to have the I'm not going to have the time to look through the charts. You're going to be rushing me. And I don't think that's right. So she was like, let me call you back. So in essence, to make this particular part short, she called the float pool that I was in and said that I refused to come up to look at the charts. They called me and they said, did you refuse? I said, I didn't refuse anything. I said, and I explained to them what happened. And so they were like, well, we're going to have to let you go. Now you got this stupid heifer. And she was like, I'm going to report you to the board of nursing because I know that you're diverted. I said, do what you got to do. She reported to the board. The TEEP happened. They contacted me. I said, no, I'm not a drug abuser. I don't divert drugs. So I'm not going through TEEP happen. Now, side note, I understand, and I've come to find out that a lot of nurses do the TPAP, and even if they are not guilty, because it is cheaper to go that route. To get a lawyer to fight a case with the Texas Board of Nursing or any Board of Nursing is high. The lawyer I got, I had to put like $7,000 down, and he charged $3.50 an hour is what he charged. And when I tell you, he charged for every little thing. I think that when I gave him that $7,000, like, I don't know how he went through it that fast, but he did. And my thing was, I don't know, it was just freaking crazy. But I thank God that I was able to be able to have that money to defend myself. And anyway, fast forward. So now we're in 2023. So prior to that, the nursing board sent me 2 corrective actions. One, they asked me to do a remedial. I said, nope, not doing a remedial. I didn't do anything. Then, so that we reject that. Then a couple of months ago, they sent me another one. I was like, nope, not doing that either. And so, like I told the lawyer, I said, I don't understand what you don't understand. I said, I told him, I said, I am not taking anything. I'm not taking a plea. You're not going to put nothing on my license. And I'm ready, and I will take this all the way to court. And he's like, oh, it can get a little pricey. I said, okay, it is what it is. What you need to understand, this is my freaking livelihood. And I graduated, I graduated, and I want that stain on my nursing license. And so he was like, okay. Now, 3 years later, into 2023. So into 2023, November, was it October, they finally set up for me to go up to have a mediation. And I had told the lawyer before I even got there, I said, let me tell you something. I can go to this mediation, but I'm walking out here with it's one of 2 things that's going to happen. one, they're just going to drop it, or two, we're going to trial. I said, I am not accepting anything except for them dropping it. I said, because this lady did this and didn't even know me, for whatever reason. I don't have time for stupid shenanigans. She had no valid proof that I was diverting, because I was not freaking diverting. And basically her ego was hurt. That's what it was. Her ego was bruised, because I told her what the proper protocol she should have done when you think somebody is diverting. So that's just like, really just like, some people don't need to be in their positions. They get just, they're power hungry, and they don't need to be in their positions. Anyway, we have the mediation now. I'm on my way back, and then I get a phone call from the lawyer, and then the lawyer was saying, okay, well, you don't have to come, to Austin. They're going to drop it. I was like, oh, they are. It was like, yeah. And I was like, because they knew she was lying. And if it's just all a money grab everywhere that's all it is money grab for the nursing board. If a nurse don't want to fight, and they gonna railroad them and make them take things, and probably charge them a fine and so forth. The lawyer, the same thing. It's all they're all in bed together. But I say that to say this: if you are innocent of any type of allegation, I'm not just talking about diverting, any type of allegation, and you're innocent, I say pay that money and defend yourself, because this is your reputation that you're fighting for. And I was willing to go down and all the way to whatever and fight. That is, and the thing was, I fight for and my kids, especially my oldest one. I fight for him I fight for everybody else. And then it just came to the point where I'm like, well, nobody fights for me. Who's going to fight for me? So let me fight for myself. But like I said, that turned out to be dropped. And I just encourage, you to do so too. But I would also say, just be careful with people that are power hungry. And I'm sorry, and I'm going to say this. My Caucasian people, I'm going to need y'all to chill out. That's what I'm going to need to do. I deal with so much, and I'm not the only one, I'm sure, in nursing when it comes to color. I can't be smart, or I'm going to be looked at as, intimidating. I can't speak my mind. Because, oh my God, that's going to be an issue. And I can speak my mind as calm as possible, and it'll be an issue. I think that's bull crap. And then lastly, when you're in a position of power, you need to check your ego at the door. Because honestly, it was just some BS for you to put me, that person to put me through that damn near 3 years. 3 years. I could not take my nurse practitioner. I could take my nurse practitioner test, but I wouldn't be able to practice in the state of Texas. And that is, and why I had this going, and that's why I wanted to practice. And being that I was also dealing with that, my mind really wasn't in it. Because I had to work to pay this lawyer, and it was just frustrating all the way around. So I say, nurses, let's kind of like, we got to get it together. I'm tired. We have to get it together. All of it, like, But that is all I have for this video. I kept saying I wanted to tell y'all about this situation. And so now that I did, and I hope that my story brings allows someone else to feel brave enough to fight for themselves. When it comes to certain things of, being nursing, just make sure you know what your Nurse Practice Act says in your state. And you should be fine, but I'm tired. I'm going to end this video. I hope that you guys push that notification button so you know when I upload another video. Please like, and if you like the content and I'm learning, please bear with me. If you like the content, then I appreciate some feedback. And also, if it's something you want me to talk about, then let me know that too. So yeah, that's it. I hope that y'all have a wonderful night, because it's 11:14. I hope y'all have a wonderful night, and until next time, I am going to try to do my best to push out at least 4 videos a week. But y'all have a good night. I wish everybody the best, and let's just, I'm just trying to grow my channel. And I know I've said this before, so I'm going to say it again. Part of the reason I want to do this channel is I want to pay off my freaking student loans. That's what I want to pay off. That's what I want to do. So, again, you guys have a wonderful night. Happy New Year. And I hope, this year brings you whatever it is that you are working on or trying to accomplish. And let's just try to, encourage each other. All right, so I will talk to you guys on another video. Peace. Bye.